We are very grateful to our sponsor this evening. More Able Than This is sponsored by the Music Department at Georgia College and State University. In addition to bachelor's degrees in music and in music therapy, including a BA plus MAT path to initial music teacher certification, GCSU offers an online master's degree in music education for certified teachers seeking to improve or expand their knowledge and skills, as well as a hybrid Master of Arts in Teaching degree for those seeking initial teacher certification in Georgia. We accept certified and licensed teachers from across the U.S., and Georgia certification is reciprocal with most other states. So don't let state boundaries deter you from applying. Apply now to start in summer or fall 2025. For more information about these degree programs, contact me at tina.holmes-davis@gcsu.edu. That's tina.holmes-davis@gcsu.edu. All right, welcome to More Able Than This, the podcast where we discuss everything related to disability and music education. More Able Than This is sponsored by the Music Department at Georgia College and State University, Georgia's designated public liberal arts university. Today, we'll be talking about a school-based United Sound organization with our special guests, Mr. Carter McDonald and Julian Armand from Hillgrove High School. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, guys? Carter, go first.
Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Carter McDonald. I'm a senior at Hillgrove. I'm the vice president of United Sound at Hillgrove. My primary instrument is saxophone, alto saxophone, but I also do piano for the jazz band, and I'm also the head drum major for our marching band.
All right, so Julian, tell us, yeah.
My name is Julian. I'm also a senior at Hillgrove High School, and I've been United Sound president, vice president for 3 years. So it's been a great commitment. I'm very happy that I'm here, and I've also been a drum major for 2 years.
Outstanding. Okay, so yeah, so Julian, it sounds like you've been in United Sound a little longer. Can you tell us just basically, you were starting to tell me before we recorded about the person before you who actually kind of got it started. Can you give us an idea of what it took for it to be started, both from the student and as much as you know about the band director?
For sure. So from what I know, the old president, Brenna, she had to do a lot of work to like communicate with the directors, communicate and email the United Sound people. So it was definitely a lot of personal independence she took in to take on that role. And then in addition, in terms of what Mr. Lumpkin had to do, it was actually started when our old director was here, Mr. Irwin. And he really like pushed to help her figure everything out, all the little situations, how to communicate, how to organize meetings and stuff like that. So after some time, she was able to take on the role for herself and then pass the knowledge on to me, so it didn't stay on the directors basically. And now even the directors are like kind of in the background, more of like mediators for situations and stuff, for like money and all that logistics. But other than that, it became much more independent for the students to take over,
So it started because of a student who wanted it, and it's pretty much a student-led.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, basically.
All right. So, Julian and Carter, take us through kind of a normal week where y'all are running this United Sound chapter.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Carter?
I'll go first. So usually on the weekends, our group chat with the presidents, we kind of, we're collaborating, we're kind of discussing schedule, and kind of discussing emails to be sent out to the parents of the students, just so we got all the logistical stuff figured out like beforehand. And then we have our meeting. We encourage everyone in the band to be a part of the mentor mentorship program for United Sound. And we also reach out to orchestra and choral students because they're more than welcome to join because the more the merrier, right? So all our mentors come in and then they greet our mentees, and then we carry out with our schedule. It's usually like a game, and then we do some rhythm practicing with like the cards that come in the books that United Sound gives us, and then we do some like group work, which could be like focusing on like a band piece like that we're going to perform later on, or it could be like a little jingle that someone wrote. So like it's really what we put on the schedule, and we follow through with that, and then everyone goes home, and then that's pretty much it until next week.
About how many students with disabilities do you have that participate, and how many mentors participate?
Yes, ma'am. So this year we've had great participation with mentees and mentors. We've had over 30 mentors and like around 12 mentees. So it's a great club. The program is thriving. It definitely took some work. You gotta visit classes, let them know how much it means to us, how much it means to the students, and then yeah, it grows from there. It's really awesome.
So, what instruments are our students playing? Is it mostly band, or are they band, orchestra? Does it matter?
So they have the option to choose from any instrument that we can provide. Like even if it's something as different as a I don't know viola, which sometimes can be a little more challenging because our program is mostly like band students. But luckily, the United Sound books provide little hints on how to teach even string instruments. So yeah, and then we of course do any band instrument that they would like to do. A lot of the times, we allow them to play percussion because it gives them the freedom to try different instruments.
Sure, sure. So, what are your students this year playing?
Most of them are doing percussion. And then I remember last year we had a guitar player, which was like the first player we've ever had. So that was really cool. But mostly is percussion. That's kind of the trend that we see.
All right. Do we have any wind instruments?
Yeah, we have we had somebody who was doing flute, but they decided they wanted to switch out. So we have a flute. Last year we had a lot of wind instruments. We had like I think it's a euphonium of
We
the
had a trumpet.
sorts. Baritone. Yeah, and then we had somebody doing trumpet as well. So last year was definitely more wind instruments. I guess this year everybody's doing percussion, so they were like, "Let me try as well." You know what I mean? Mhm.
So, I remember the founder of United Sound said at one time that sometimes the parents are resistant to allowing their children to try because up until this point, there's not been any space for them to try. Have y'all found that parents are resistant, or is it something where people jump in immediately?
It's definitely been a lot better. I think we had to like break kind of their shell, introducing it to them, introducing the idea that they can learn instruments. Like we have students who are really advanced. There's no need to be afraid because they can really grow. Everybody just learns differently. So you just got to adjust how you teach to each individual student.
So before you were able to kind of break the shell, what was it like? Like in the early days, trying to get people to do it?
A lot of emails, like a lot. We had to be like, if y'all are interested, definitely sign the forms, bring them back, and then we had to get the teachers to email them about it. So that was a process. Those are mainly our two ways that we did that.
Okay. And are you finding that as you're giving these consistent kind of concerts, more people are getting interested?
For sure.
Right. And does your United Sound Club perform with the band, like at band concerts, or do you have your own concerts
Yes, we perform with the band.
with the band? Outstanding. Okay.
What we do with the concerts, we basically allow the some of our mentors who are also in our top ensemble to mentor the students while they're performing, the mentees while they're
Yes.
performing, which gives them the chance to be on stage. And we also like let them walk on stage, get their own moment, which is always awesome. It's always
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. So typically, I think it's supposed to be three mentors per mentee. Do y'all find that as a good ratio? Do you use more or less, or does it depend?
It we usually have that ratio. It's stayed that way the past few years. Usually there's like one day where like there's something happening. Obviously but we like work around that and we do more groupings instead of just individual stuff. So yeah, we that ratio is it's established well.
Okay. And do we have a range of students? Can some really do just like minimal work, and then some of them are playing like normal music?
Yeah, so we have some students who are like, we're still trying to figure out the instruments because some instruments are very complicated. Like string instruments,
Yes.
trying to figure that out can be a challenge. So luckily, we have some orchestra students who are helping them with that.
Good,
Hmm.
good.
And then in terms of um, some students are already done with like the United Sound books, which now that you say that, I never thought of that. But we should definitely bring some other books, like maybe email the parents like other book ideas that they can have independent learning.
I mean, yeah, you could, whatever y'all used in middle school, you could, transition into that.
Yes, that's smart.
But I mean, really, you have so what I'm hearing is you kind of have the freedom within your club to meet your people's needs where they are.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. So you said you have some chorus people. What do the chorus people do?
They usually help with rhythms, and with instruments. They're kind of like in the background, but like it's we always have someone clapping with them with rhythms just to make sure rhythms are well played.
All right. Outstanding. All right. So what do you think is the most important thing for you as leaders in this organization to know and do?
Go ahead, Julian.
Okay. So something that I found very important these past few years is making sure that everybody has an opportunity to participate, whether they're a mentor or a mentee. Because what happens when somebody feels left out is it becomes boring for that person, but then it becomes boring for everybody else as well.
Yes.
Because it's the energy, the vibes, So trying to just get everybody to feel comfortable with each other, meeting them where they are and stuff. Yeah.
For me, yeah. Sorry. As like a newer like member of the president team, my focus as in the leadership role was to make sure everyone was like comfortable where they were. Like there was a lot of there was a lot of
Yes.
hesitant mentors, and I wanted to fix that. I was like, guys, trust. It is such a fun club. You get to meet some really cool people. They're super like everyone's super fun. You get to perform another piece, which is pretty cool. So when I joined the president team, I really wanted to focus on getting mentors to sign up because we wanted to make sure Beta One Wish Year was well established.
Or were they scared that they weren't going to know what to do?
Yeah, I had a lot of people come up and ask me like, how do I like do I treat this differently? I'm like, you treat them like your friend, like you treat them like anyone
Yeah.
else. Like it's not that serious. Like you can talk like there's like, can we talk with them? I was like, you can talk with them. Like it's so laid back, it's so relaxed, it's so fun. I just had to break that wall and just say like, hey, you can join it. It's fun. Trust.
And how many meetings do your mentors tend to need before they relax?
Well, from my experience, it seems like from our like second to third meeting, that's when we start to get to know each other, and then we're slowly breaking our shells even more like each meeting.
So the first meeting, everybody's a little hesitant.
Yeah, like a lot of people are hesitant. The people who came back, luckily, are there to like help us in a sense. Like,
Do you
mhm.
find that the mentees are also nervous? Maybe because this is the first time they've ever been able to do something like this, or do they come in ready to go?
Everybody's actually different. Some of our mentees were like jumping for joy. They were ready. Somebody, we have someone named Annalie, and she's like
Oh my
so
gosh.
excited every. Oh my God, I love her so much. Her energy is great. Like she's so ready to learn. Hmm.
Good. So, but some of them come in nervous and they have to calm down or get comfortable too.
Hmm.
Yes.
So, what do you think, or do you know your mentees? What is their favorite part?
A lot of them say like the concert, like so we strongly suggest them to like wear like sparkly dresses and like suits and like get all fancy with it because you know on the stage we call their name and they walk out with their mentor and they like wave to the entire crowd. So it's like it's a big deal for them and we like I think I hear that a lot is like they love the stage. They love performing in their, you know, fancy dresses and suits.
Outstanding. So, what about your mentors? What do you think is their favorite part?
So I would say them with the mentors when there's like a game or something, and then everybody's like getting involved. I notice that's when they're the most like happy and vibey and all that stuff. Everybody's involved, so it's like the this just lifts their spirits. I guess you could say, not to be cheesy or anything, but you know.
It's okay to be cheesy. I think that, I personally, look back and I know for a fact that if I had gone to school the way I am now, I wouldn't have been able to be in the band. And it's not because
Hmm.
people didn't want me. It was just because what do you do with a clarinet player who only has one hand that works?
Hmm.
You know?
Hmm.
So, and luckily there is a man in the UK who makes instruments designed for clarinets designed for one-handed musicians. And so I have one of
Oh,
those.
really?
Wow.
That's cool.
Which is kind of neat because now when I walk into a rehearsal or a space, people want me to be there because now they understand I have an instrument that I can play.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And so it's never that people don't want us. It's just they don't know what to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So- And but United Sound specializes rather than adaptive instruments in kind of adaptive pedagogy. So you talked about the music and the books and the flashcards and so
Yes.
they play traditional instruments, but they learn in a different way.
Hmm. And then some students get so ahead that they're like learning really reading regular music. So next year we definitely need to introduce like books, like fresh, maybe some middle school books because they are ready for that. Hmm.
Right. It's worth a shot, you know. I'd be
Right?
interested to hear y'all let me know how that works.
For sure.
And I
Yeah.
would absolutely love, I know y'all are going to be in college next
Right.
year,
I was gonna
but
say. Hmm.
yeah, if you wouldn't mind, tell the next presidency to invite me to any of the concerts because I've only actually seen one United Sound concert, and that's when they played a United Sound group. I think it was an orchestra group, played at the GMEA in Service Convention a few years ago.
Yes. Okay. Wait. So you're in Georgia. Okay.
I'm in Georgia. Yeah, I'm at Georgia
Yeah.
College.
Okay. That's easy. Yeah, we could do that quickly
Yeah,
though.
so
Quick
yeah, I
test.
don't think I've ever seen live a United Sound band. And
Yeah.
I would love to come see, a performance. And, I don't need to I'll just be in the back and watch the performance and cheer
Right.
everybody on.
Yeah. Okay. I would love that. That would be awesome.
Or do y'all have any more performances this year?
We actually have one coming up.
All right, when?
May 6th at like
May
May 6th.
6th.
Yes. They don't perform till the very end. It's with our top ensemble.
Uh-huh.
So but yeah, I can definitely send you the details.
Please do. Yeah. And I'll bring Davis and he can chat with your
Yes.
band director. And yeah, it'll
Oh,
be good.
Yes.
cool.
So, what do you think would be the biggest challenges for students who were trying to start a United Sound chapter? You said that the first student at your school had to push. Is that the probably the biggest thing having to push to just get it started or
I would say that was one of the biggest things, having to push to get it started. I wasn't there for the first like initial year, so I didn't get to see the necessarily what's happening in the background, unfortunately. Just in my experience, it was like also getting people to register and not be afraid of the fee. Sometimes the fee can be a little intimidating for some.
sure are the fees just for materials and things like that?
Hmm. Yeah, and it went up from last year, which makes sense. Everything's more
Sure.
expensive, but yeah,
Yes.
right. So we've just been trying to let people know that there's financial aid options, so they're not limited to just they have to pay everything all the
Have
time.
y'all
Mhm.
considered some local like businesses to sponsor some materials or something?
Actually, no,
We have not.
no.
That'd be pretty cool.
And I
Mm,
mean, it might not, because
Mm.
money's tight for everybody, but
right.
Right.
some, some local businesses, might be interested in helping y'all with materials for these students.
That's true. I gotta take notes and let our other president know because.
Well, I mean, I do this on my own. So actually today I spent the whole day sending out sponsorship letters trying to raise enough money for the Center for Music Ed for next year.
Oh wow, that's impressive. Okay, cool.
So that's just part of this life. That's what we do.
Right. Yeah.
So how involved are your band directors now? Are they just kind of you report to them and schedule with them?
Yeah. Basically.
Do they come to your rehearsals at all, or maybe closer to concerts, or not at all? Or
They're kind of just like they're in the background. They don't. I mean, they're required to be there for like
yes,
school rules, but like they're there. And then if there's ever a situation, we go to them. And then when we leave, they leave. So, uh,
okay.
but yeah, that's pretty much how that goes.
All right, so the directors, and I'm saying this because directors who might be interested can be as involved or as much or as little involved as their student leadership will allow them to be.
Yeah, and especially considering we have like conducting experience, musical experience, like it definitely helps because we're able to pass on our knowledge. So.
All right, so yeah, so more experienced groups would be able to do more independently.
Mm-hmm.
This is so exciting because I know that there are directors that I've talked to who are interested, but
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of scared to take that first step. And I don't, I'm already overworked, I'm already overscheduled, I never see my family, and yeah, I don't think I can do one more thing. So I think this is good information because you still have to be there because somebody has to supervise the students on campus.
Yes.
But, if you train up your leadership, then you might be able to sit in the background and let your leadership run it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And we're lucky because, oh my gosh, the first president was a sweetheart. She was a great teacher. She was like able to let us know how the ropes work. Um, she gave me all the emailing, all the information for everything right away, and then I was in the loop really quickly. She started asking me if I had ideas because very important to see uh, what the leadership is gonna do, like what they're thinking about, because that's how you get them to grow and stuff. So it was great. It was great.
So, what is something that you've always wanted to tell people about United Sound?
You know, United Sound is. I also gotta think about that because like it's a good question. It takes time to think about that one for sure. I mean, cause like United Sound definitely. You're asking like, what are some like. I'm still thinking. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. So, yeah. So then in the meantime, let's since we're on a podcast and we need to keep going,
Right.
let's think through talking. What are your favorite things about United Sound? We'll come back to the other.
Okay. Fair. One of my favorite things personally is I actually feel very motivated to be able to be there. Like sometimes that'll be what gets me through the meeting because whoo, after a long day of school, it's like I'm able to see my friends and everything, and I'm able to see the mentees and everything, and it just warms my heart that they're able to learn and grow. So that keeps me there. Like that keeps me motivated. It's one of the things. Hmm.
My favorite part is whenever we do like a game or like a fun activity. Like we have dance parties occasionally, and
Right.
everyone seems to enjoy it. Everyone gets into it, and it's super fun. Just see everyone like dancing, like doing like a conga line, around the room, or like even doing like a project. Like this past year, we did something that we haven't done before, but we made a United Sound poster to put out in the hallway for like just to see just for everyone to see. But everyone like colored in instruments, like they had instrument pictures, and we had a big United Sound title, and we put it on the hallway. We were like, yeah, this is what we have. Like, you should join. So that was one of my favorite things we did this year. Quite fun.
Outstanding. All right,
Yeah.
good. Um, it's so neat to have the student perspective. So much of what I do is from the director's perspective, and that's important too. But United Sound isn't like any other organization I've ever, dealt with. And so it's kind of neat to see how the students do it. And y'all are obviously very, responsible young men. So it's nice to see that y'all are able to kind of take this leadership and move. So I know Carter is going to major in nursing. Julian, what are you planning to major in college?
So in college, I'm actually going to be doing biochem and molecular biology at UGA.
To do what? What are you going to do with that when you graduate?
So I was thinking of doing urology. I'm going to experience college first, see where life
See where
takes
you
me,
go.
you know?
So we're all interested in medicine.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you think that your desire to work with people with disabilities is related to your desire to work in medicine at all?
Personally, not necessarily, but I guess it's nice to be working with people. I wouldn't want to be working in an office or lab, which is why I didn't want to be a biochemist. Because
Sure,
then I'd be, oh my gosh, I don't know. It might be a little more secluded, you know. I don't want
it
to
would
assume
be.
though. Hmm.
Now, there are also people in the lab. There are probably also quiet
Exactly. That's why
people,
I was like,
but
But yeah, as like an aspiring nurse, like I love working with different groups of people. Like I I think I'm just like wired that way. I can get
yeah,
along with different groups of people. So with nursing, that's that's a requirement. Like you gotta like, be able to talk with the patient and help them in the same way. So I think that's kind of where I correlate United Sound with my future career.
all right, very cool. And I think in any way it will help you and it'll help the mentors and mentees that you've worked with to, kind of get to know people who are different than them.
yes,
And that's one of my favorite things. We always think about the mentees getting they use socialized, with normal society, but I think it's also important for the mentors to understand the range of humanity.
exactly.
And
Hmm.
yeah. So, well, I think this brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you to our guests for joining us to discuss a school-based United Sound organization. We hope you feel inspired, equipped, and ready to work with the disabled musicians in your community.
This podcast was created by Dr. Tina Holmes Davis. It was recorded by Tina Holmes Davis and edited by Brent McDonald. More Able Than Dis is a product of the Center for Music Education at Georgia College. For more information, check out www.gcsu.edu or follow us on Instagram. Music for this podcast provided by Brent McDonald.